Hey, so right before I left for vacation, I had a conversation with the listing agent, and we were fortunate enough in this market to have one of our buyers' contracts accepted. And one of the things that he said that he doesn't like to see on his offers when they come to him is where a buyer will go aggressively over asking price, but then elect an appraisal contingency, which basically makes that escalated um, purchase price null and void if the property doesn't appraise. So I said, well, do you know about the appraisal gap strategy? And he said, no. So I wanted to put this video together. I'm going to share it and hopefully it makes some sense here, especially for listing agents. So the way an appraisal gap strategy works, when I'm talking to my clients before they go out to look at offers, we find out exactly how much cash they have to work with. And we know that we want to use as much of that towards the down payment as possible and still have enough to cover closing costs. This is a hypothetical situation, but the math is always the same, right? So 2 + 2 is 4 on the calculator, no matter how many times you hit it. Let's pretend that somebody goes over asking price on a property. It doesn't matter what the asking price is, but let's just say they go to 319.9 on a $319,900 offer price. If all the numbers were consistent with interest rates and credit scores and a down payment of 10%, they would need roughly 52.2 on that property with a total payment of roughly 2436. Now let's pretend the appraisal comes back and that appraisal comes in $10,000 below what that overinflated asking price was. We're not dead in the water here. If we used an appraisal gap strategy in the agreement of sale and worded it correctly, we could agree to cover the appraisal gap up to $10,000 and at the same time show the buyers how that would affect their payment. So if the property comes in at $10,000 less, that would theoretically change the buyer's payment by about to about $2,500, which is about $70 a month. And that's a combination of the loan amount going up slightly and the mortgage insurance changing. The way we cover that is we go into closing costs. We now have a loan to value of, instead of 90%, 95%, which is not a big deal. We have total closing costs reduced by about $7,000, $6,000. And really all we've done was reduce the down payment and cover that appraisal gap of $10,000 so that the buyers can still get into the house and actually their cash to close goes down. So this is more of an educational process in the beginning with our buyers to just say, hey, listen, what's your offer going to be on this property? And if that offer is going to be aggressively over the asking price, let's take a look at what our plan should be to present this in a way that makes us different to the seller. And instead of electing an appraisal contingency, say, hey, we'd like to offer X amount over your list price, and we're willing to cover any appraisal gap contingency up to whatever that number is. And hopefully it doesn't change your cash to close. That way you can put the offer together and not necessarily have to worry about backtracking after the fact to try to figure out how we're going to put this together. So again, totally hypothetical situation, but if we have an appraisal gap that comes in 10,000 less and somebody's putting 10% down, you can actually have them walk away from the table needing a little bit less money with a minimal increase to their monthly mortgage payment. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me at andyloan.com or the contact information on the TCA. Have a great day.